In this video, I'll show you how you can clone this OpenAI landing page, almost one-to-one replication, and use it for yourself in your own coding projects as tangible code that you can play around and remix. To start off, to analyze OpenAI's landing page, we can see that just the landing page alone, we have a nav bar that's connected into this hero right here with the prompt bell that's depicting ChatGPT. But then if you notice, as you scroll, their landing page is packed with images. There are so many images and visuals, and it's similar to Apple where it takes up a lot of space. As you can see that they have a lot of visuals here. On the side they have a lot of visuals, and then they have more visuals over here, and then it keeps on going. There's a bunch of visuals. And then finally you have the footer. Now, we need to find a way to attribute every single element with the prompts bill, the nav bar, every single image, slot, tile, and the footer and the CTA all together in like a curated prompt PRD. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to an extension called Go Full Page. What Go Full Page is going to do now is it's going to take a screenshot of the whole entire landing page and stitching all the sections together. This helps us because you can't take a screenshot of the whole landing page. So by taking individual screenshots and stitching them together is what Go Full Page does. And now we have OpenAI's landing page, and now I can just go ahead and download. Now that I've downloaded OpenAI's landing page, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to an LLM of my choice. So I've gone to Gemini, and I'm going to just simply drop this in to I'm just going to simply drop this in the screenshot of the OpenAI landing page, but now I'm going to prompt Gemini for a PRD prompt. I want Gemini to map every single bit and element on this landing page into a PRD that I'll then send off to a coding agent for a handoff to actually make our OpenAI landing page. So the prompt I'm going to give Gemini. So this is the prompt I'm going to give Gemini. I'm telling it to give me a PRD that is a one-to-one replica of the OpenAI landing page that I want it to replicate. I've told it that I've attached an image of the OpenAI landing page. I want it to follow that style, and in terms of formatting and placement and arrangement of elements to make sure that it matches how OpenAI has done it on their landing page, and to make sure that we can then hand this off to a coding agent as a PRD with an in-depth detailed prompt. And I'm just going to simply give it that. So once Gemini generates our PRD prompt, we can then hand off to our coding agent. All I'm going to do is I'm going to simply just copy every single thing here like that, like so. And then I'm going to go to my design tool. Now the design tool I'm going to go to is Glamour. And what we can do inside of Glamour is once we have gotten that prompt, we can simply paste it, as well as we can go ahead and attach our reference landing page that Go Full Page made as a screenshot that we downloaded as a visual guidance for the model itself. I'm going to be using GPT 5.5 Pro for this, but I'm going to go ahead and attach the landing page of OpenAI. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and attached the OpenAI landing page as well as the whole prompt that was curated by Gemini. And now I'm going to go ahead and simply send it. And what's going to happen now is Glamour is going to go in its planning brief. Now what's going to happen here is Glamour is going to analyze our prompt and the screenshot into consideration and then ask us a few questions to make sure it gets the general design direction correct. So it's asking now, do you want the search prompt bar to have a simulated typing animations? So yes, I'd love to have a simulated typing animation, even though that, as we can see, this is what OpenAI has. However, we have it typing there. There's carousels kind of ripples out, and we're just gonna do a regular typing animation. Now we've gone to the branding direction. Now I'm going to skip this because, as you can see in our PRD, we already have highlighted how everything is going to be. So I'm going to let the model decide with the PRD prompt. And here we have some hero visuals. Now this doesn't apply to us because we want to replicate OpenAI's landing page. But for any other designs, you could go ahead and choose any hero visual that would appear on ideally the hero of a landing page. But obviously I'm going to go ahead and skip this, and now I'm going to go ahead and generate our design. Okay, so the first iteration is in, and this is what we have generated. It's pretty solid. Obviously, it doesn't have the exact same graphics and images ChatGPT, the the landing page OpenAI uses, but it's not bad as a starting point. In fact, if we open this up in a preview, we see that there needs to be some alignment. However, it's basically gotten majority of it kind of right. I think that there are some discrepancies. Yeah, it doesn't know that this actually scrolls with it instead of just scrolling down. So yeah, so that should be higher. It's gotten recent news basically. Stories is basically correct. Latest research. Get started with ChatGPT is pretty accurate. It's just some of the the branding a bit. Obviously, is very picture heavy. I mean, if you replace this with the actual graphics ChatGPT uses and smoothen the animations a bit, you practically have OpenAI's landing page almost cloned perfectly. One thing we can add is we can go to svgl.app and we can just grab the OpenAI logo like this. So we can just copy it, and then we can head over back to Glamour and say replace the OpenAI logo with the actual one. And basically, we've one-shotted the exact foundation of OpenAI's landing page practically. We can tell it to fix the alignment as well, fix this as it should scroll hijack and lock the user until they scroll down. As this right here, this article codex for every role tool in workflow. But that is basically how you can clone a website of your choice. I used obviously ChatGPT here, but that's basically the workflow that you can use, and you'll basically have majority of the foundation done. And in fact, I even went ahead and did this with XAI's landing page over here, as you can see. And now XAI's is more detailed and has way more refining, but just to one shot it, you have the general foundation with the footer, these two right here, and then you have the four like latest news like that. You have the three metrics over here, then you have the four developers, and then you have the like the quad grid right here. And so obviously it's not perfect, it's nowhere close. However, in one shotted basically the skeletal framework, if I had to say. I also did the same thing with Anthropic. If you can take a look here, you see that the text is completely the same. The footer is. Anthropic's landing page is very text heavy. It has some animations and it's very smooth and modern, but as you can see that it basically got the majority of the foundation done of Anthropic's landing page. But that's basically how you can one-shot any website of your choice.